In October 1962, the world stood on the brink of nuclear war as tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union reached a boiling point in what became known as the Cuban Missile Crisis. The crisis was sparked when American U-2 spy planes discovered Soviet missile installations in Cuba, just 90 miles from the coast of Florida. The revelation sent shockwaves throughout the world and plunged the United States into a state of emergency. President John F. Kennedy addressed the nation, revealing the existence of the missile sites and demanding their removal. Meanwhile, Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev denied the presence of offensive weapons in Cuba and accused the United States of aggression. As tensions escalated, both superpowers engaged in a high-stakes game of brinkmanship, with the world holding its breath. In response to the crisis, President Kennedy ordered a naval blockade of Cuba, effectively surrounding the island to prevent further Soviet shipments of military equipment. The blockade brought the United States and the Soviet Union to the brink of war, as both sides stood firm in their demands. Meanwhile, Cuban leader Fidel Castro urged the Soviets to launch a preemptive strike against the United States, heightening fears of an all-out nuclear conflict. With tensions at their peak, the world held its breath as the two superpowers stood on the brink of nuclear war. Behind closed doors, President Kennedy and his advisors deliberated their next move, fully aware of the catastrophic consequences of failure. Diplomatic channels remained open, as both sides sought a peaceful resolution to the crisis, even as the threat of war loomed large. Finally, after 13 tense days, a breakthrough was reached. The Soviet Union agreed to withdraw its missiles from Cuba in exchange for a pledge from the United States not to invade the island. In a televised address to the nation, President Kennedy announced the resolution of the crisis and expressed hope for a more peaceful future. Across the globe, there were scenes of relief and celebration as the specter of nuclear war receded, at least for the time being. The Cuban Missile Crisis was a defining moment in the Cold War, serving as a stark reminder of the dangers of nuclear brinkmanship and the need for diplomacy in resolving international conflicts.